Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of How to Rip. In today's episode we're going to discuss how surfers can do 360s, reverses, and then even how to do an ollie on a surfboard. So once a surfer has gotten through this stage of stuffing up the takeoff and they've finally got to the point where they can ride along a wave, and in addition to that, now they should be able to perform maneuvers like cutbacks, re-entries, snaps comfortably. If you're at that level, then it's time to start looking at other maneuvers to learn, and so that's where maneuvers like reverses and chop hops can come into play. It's important to remember though that we should still work on refining these basic skills, the bottom turn, the top turn, and combinations of maneuvers. This is the foundation of surfing and something we should always work on.
We're going to talk about 360s today. This is a 360 in its most basic form. Surfers like Kelly Slater do huge carving 360s which are much more impressive. But today I'm actually going to talk about a reverse, which is when you spin the other way. So when it comes to reverses, there are different types. There are basic ones like this, where I perform it on the whitewater. And then there are more advanced ones that you see people like Felipe Toledo doing, where they go upside down, underneath the lip, and they're much more impressive and much more critical. The fundamental principles are the same though, so let's get into these. The first thing we need to mention when it comes to these maneuvers is that you need speed. The more speed you have, the easier you'll actually be able to perform these turns. Without speed, you'll fail. It's that simple. So remember the key rules of learning how to generate speed.
Now, like everything in surfing, speed is crucial. Without speed, your turns won't look very good. And especially with the reverses and chop hops, you need speed to be able to perform these well. So let's have a look at this example here. First, you can see that I'm paddling in hard. Notice here how you can actually see me kicking as well. So kicking and paddling hard. Once I've got into the wave, I'm then going to generate my speed by going to the top of the wave and extending my body and throwing my arms like this. Notice how I'm extended, I'm putting all the way into my toes, and then I crash down low again. And then from there, I perform the maneuver. Let's have a look at another example. Here you see me paddling in hard once again. I'm up and riding. Here, another speed pump. From here, you'll notice that I do another throw. But then after this, I'm doing a little bit of a tic-tac motion, as you can see, kind of going from side to side. This isn't speed generation. I'm just buying my time until that section presents itself where I can perform that reverse. And that's the same for chop hops. You must have speed and be able to perform one of these. And the more speed you have, the better they'll look.
Next I want to discuss section selection. So the section that you choose to perform your maneuver on. Now this is obviously different for a reverse compared to a chop hop. So let's take a closer look at what section a surfer should perform these turns on.
Now, like any maneuver, the section that you perform your turns on will have a great impact on how that turn actually looks. Now when we start learning reverses, sections like these are what we're looking for. We're looking for those whitewater fluffy sections, because what happens is when you make contact with that whitewater with speed, your fins will release easily in that because the foam is aerated, so your board will become weightless, allowing you to rotate. So that's what we want to start with. So down the track, we want to start combining our reverses with other maneuvers. So now that you can comfortably perform a reverse off the foam, it's time to go off the lip. Notice here how I've got my board above the lip. It allows the reverse to be a bit more aggressive and it allows the fins to be released. Now looking further down the track, the section here was heavier and this is going to make it more critical once again. Now even though I didn't complete this maneuver because I hit it too early, you can see what I mean. You can actually get underneath the lip of the wave and almost end up upside down. That's where you want to take that maneuver down the track.
Now when it comes to doing an ollie on a surfboard, it's really just a novelty skill. You're not going to see the best surfers in the world doing these when they're surfing their contests and vying for a world title. In saying that though, they can be fun to learn and they can be fun when you're just surfing average waves. And they can also teach you how to generate pop. Particularly, you can then take that when you try and do a backhand air reverse later on. So now that we understand that speed is crucial and we know how to generate speed, we know what sections we're going to perform the reverse on and also a chop hop. Now let's have a look at how you actually perform these turns by discussing body positioning.
So let's walk through this example of the chop hop. Here you can see me on my heels going up to the top of the wave. Here I'm compressed like a coiled spring getting ready to pop. From here I rotate and look back and I'm starting to extend. From there my board becomes weightless and I continue to rotate and I kick my back foot up to release the tail. Once I'm done, I land and compress low to finish and I continue to rotate. And when we talk about reverses, there's two types. Like this one here has no grab. You'll notice that it's just pure rotation, and we're going to break that down in more detail shortly. This one here was all rotation. I didn't even dump my back arm, but I'll explain this more later. So let's have a look. This is a good example of rotation. Notice how I lean and rotate and look to where I want to go. As I continue through this maneuver, I'm putting the weight on my heels and I'm rotating still. You must now get low. By staying low, you'll have more control. I continue the rotation until finally my nose is heading back towards the sand and the maneuver is complete. Let's have a look at a more critical example. Here we have a bottom turn. You must bottom turn into any maneuver that we do. We know that by now. I've spotted that section and now I'm going to lean, look and rotate. This is a good example of dumping my back arm. Notice how my back arm is now buried in the water. From there, I put all the weight onto my front leg and I push my back leg out, which releases the tail. I then get low and I continue to rotate through that turn until it's complete at the end. Another type of reverse is a grab rail reverse, as you can see here. So let's break this down. Notice here how I've caught my wave and I've done a speed pump, because speed is crucial. So I want to be going as fast as I can. Here I've spotted the section and I'm bottom turning to where I want to go. Once I get to the top of the wave, I then grab my rail and I'm going to dump that back arm still. From here I'm going to hold the rail and lean. You can see the board's on rail on my heels. I'm going to put all the weight onto my front leg and kick out my back leg. That releases the tail. From there I get low to complete the rotation and I'm still holding the rail just to stay controlled, and then get low to ride out of that maneuver.
Guys, I hope that this video has given you a better idea of how to perform a reverse and a chop hop. And if you're new here and you like what we do, please subscribe to the channel now, like the video, and comment below to let us know what other videos you'd like to see. And make sure you've got that notification bell turned on so you won't miss a video in the future. Something like this one.
On the wave, then looking